Court documents say a 10-year-old fourth grader with special needs was in his classroom when things took a turn. The complaint says the teacher, who we're not naming because they've not been charged with the crime, forcefully pulled a metal door shut, severing the boy's middle right finger. Documents say the 10-year-old screamed for help so loud he lost his voice as he banged on the window trying to get her attention and release his finger. He says, "All she did is look at me through the window, then she walked away, I think to eat her lunch." The boy was finally able to break free and run for help despite the pain and not knowing why he was bleeding so much. A staff member then helped him to the nurse's office when another staff member came in with the boy's missing fingertip, which documents say was found on the floor in the classroom. The complaint says the boy's mother arrived after being told her son caught his finger in a door and needed to go to the hospital, but did not get details about how it happened. She found her son pale, his shirt covered in blood, and his hand wrapped in gauze. Documents say she was given a Dixie cup with her son's fingertip wrapped in a wet paper towel. To this day, the mother claims the principal, nor her son's teacher or school staff ever gave her an explanation. The boy was able to communicate his version. She's now suing the Edmond School District for violating Washington law to protect children with special needs.
The mom certainly wants to raise awareness for this incident. She also wants school districts to do a better job at providing the education that the special needs children deserve. We know there are over 140,000 special need students in the state of Washington, and we just want to bring awareness to the need to provide these children with the attention and instruction that they need. And of course, we want to hold the school district accountable for what happened to this boy and his injury.
After the incident, documents say the teacher apologized, saying, "I'm sorry for what happened to you, but you shouldn't have kept asking me when I wasn't answering you, because if I don't answer you, that means I'm doing something. So it was kind of your fault, but I'm sorry."
So what is the school district saying about this?
So far, nothing. I did reach out, but Edmonds officials tells me that because this is an ongoing litigation, they can't comment.
Remember, Charlie wasn't focused on building a brand. He was building a movement. He inspired millions of young people to think for themselves, to push back against the indoctrination happening in our schools, and to stand for life, for liberty, and for biblical values. The Senate voted unanimously today to declare today a National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk, a clear recognition of the lasting impact that he made. And then we have Charlie's wife, Erica. She carried a heavy burden with unwavering faith. Seeing her today at the White House, accepting Charlie's Medal of Honor on his behalf, holding back tears but standing strong and with such grace, it was a true reminder of the depth of love and strength behind Charlie's legacy.
Honestly, President Trump, I have spent 7.5 years trying to find the perfect birthday gift for Charlie. And it's so difficult. And those of you that have spouses or loved ones, you know how difficult it is sometimes to buy a gift for someone that you love, because he wasn't a materialistic man, so that also did not help. But now I can say with confidence, Mr. President, that you have given him the best birthday gift he could ever have.
You know, she wasn't just standing there as Charlie's widow. She stood there as a woman of faith, vowing to continue his mission. Charlie Kirk was taken from us far too soon, friends, but what he left behind, that's not going anywhere. The fire that he started, friends, it's spreading through every student that he ever interacted with, through every believer who stopped being silent, through every patriot who's done being polite while this culture tries to erase everything good and true. I can't help but smile knowing that his voice, his passion, and his faith is living on, not just in words, but in all of those who refuse to give up. So, Charlie, enjoy heaven, my friend. You fought the good fight. You finished your race. And we'll keep running our race with your torch lighting our path. This is the same woman who spent years lecturing us on what leadership looks like, and now finds herself clapping for the man she once called a danger to democracy. Ironic? Nah, that's just unmistakable weight of reality breaking through all the noise.
I really commend President Trump and his administration, as well as Arab leaders in the region, for making the commitment to the 20-point plan and seeing a path forward for what's often called the day after.
Right there. She's even honoring the 20-point plan. That is President Trump's. Come on in, Hillary. Knock on that door. The truth's been waiting for you right here wearing a MAGA hat and leading the free world back to sanity. Friends, this is a moment that will be written about in the annals of history. From the Abraham Accords to the end of hostilities in Gaza, President Trump has done what decades of presidents promised to do: deliver peace. And listen, peace isn't weakness. Peace through strength is what wins. It's what keeps our families safe, our enemies trembling, and our flag flying high. So tonight, I say this. To every American watching, you elected a fighter, a builder, and a man who didn't just talk a big game, he shattered any doubt on the world stage. And now, the world is finally seeing what we've always known. President Trump is God's chosen instrument for this moment in time. The Holy Land is peaceful. The hostages are home. The world is safer. And America, yes, America, we're back. And I've never been prouder to be an American. Just in the past 2 days, U.S. forces hit multiple suspected drug smuggling speedboats in the Eastern Pacific. Now, these are key cocaine routes straight into Mexico and ultimately right into our country. Friends, 3 cartel operatives were taken out in the latest strike, 5 in the most recent operations, and overall, at least 37 of these cartel drug criminals have been wiped off the map. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth called these drug traffickers the Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere and vowed the strikes will continue daily until the threat is eliminated. While the numbers are huge, this is personal, because behind every bag of poison seized, there's a family that won't lose a son or a daughter or a sister or a brother. That's what drives these heroes on the front lines. The ones who suit up, show up, and fight for people that they'll never meet.
Mr. President, since the year 2000, we have lost over 1 million Americans to drugs, to overdoses, to these cartels that have proliferated that kind of a disease on our people and have gone to war with our next generation of Americans. When you signed the executive order that was protecting the American people from invasion, what you did is that you took these cartels and gangs that we've known for decades and you declared them to be what they really are, and that's terrorists.
The headlines, they tell you about the chaos, stalled paychecks, gridlock, but what they don't always tell you is who's holding the cards, who's making the moves, and what's really at stake for millions of Americans caught in the middle. Who's actually paying the price? 42 million Americans. That's who. Moms, dads, kids, wondering if next month's groceries are going to show up. This isn't a political talking point. It's real life, under real pressure. And yet the Democrats, they say the suffering, it's their leverage.
I mean, shutdowns are terrible. And of course, there will be, families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously. But it is one of the few leverage times we have.
Are you kidding me? Friends, you heard her. They're counting on the pain just to score political points. When the Democrats openly admit that suffering is a weapon, the stakes have gone beyond policy.